Let's start over.
Yeah. Today, March 18th, Sunday, we're here shooting the shift. My name is Brian.
I'm Willie.
And let's get into it.
All right. Well,
What we got today?
today on our daily drive segment, I guess everyone is new to the channel.
Everyone, yeah.
So for those of you who are new to the channel, this is our segment where we discuss current events and topics in the car world. To start off with, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm sure a lot of you have. Project One was over at Amelia Island.
Yes, it was.
Got to see it out in the flesh. Got to see it actually driving.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, only in electric mode. They didn't have the gas engine on, so we didn't get to hear it in all its glory. In fact, they had to push it uphill. I guess the electric. I don't know why they had to push it up. I thought that the electric engine would be. I mean, it has 4 of them. It should be able to get itself up there, but
I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason, there's a YouTube video of 4 guys pushing it up a ramp. So, super. I mean, obviously we've seen it already, but
It's
we got to
amazing,
see it driving on an actual road.
Yeah, to get an idea of what it would
Yeah.
look like on the road. So
So-
very nice.
Obviously, the color scheme on the car, it shares the same color scheme as the Formula One Mercedes AMG car. I don't know if that's going to be if you're going to be able to select any colors. I haven't read anything in reference to whether or not that's going to be the only color. I would imagine there for $2.8 million that you're going to be able to pick a color.
I don't know, man, because
I hope
that's something that I think is like with most cars, that's going to be a rarity where that's the signature for that car. It might be a possibility, and we could be wrong. It might be something where you can get an acid green, which would be my preference, or something vivid.
Yeah.
So
For $2.8 million, I want it to have like the hue light bulb where you can select it on your phone, and then the outside just changes colors. That's what I want.
fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For 2.8, definitely.
Yeah.
You don't want something.
For 2.8,
Standing
it
up.
should have like tearaway layers of colors where you can just like
Skip
every
board.
month just rip a color off and just
I'm tired of magenta.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it should. So
But wait, what if you got drunk one night and just decided to just tear? Oh, wait, that'd be great because if you crash, like you scrape a panel, boom.
That's what I'm saying.
See?
That's what I'm saying.
Onto good shit.
It's the perfect getaway car. You
Oh
can
my
just
God.
tear away a color.
Sometimes I look at you and it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, I'm telling you. I do some of my best thinking when I'm drinking
oh yeah.
coffee, quote unquote coffee.
You got the yellow coffee too?
I did.
Oh
It's
my
delicious.
god, it's amazing.
This is a
It's
new,
got like
it's a new Nespresso flavor.
Oof.
Yes,
It's yellow coffee.
it's called brewed beer.
It's amazing. I like it.
Yes, that's delicious.
What else you want? I mean, honestly, what I was looking at as well is the comparison between this, the Project One, and the late '90s, like the reminisce. Or what's the Le Mans BMW came out?
Le Mans. We covered this in the last episode.
God damn it!
Yes,
Le Mans.
you're right. Yeah, Le Mans. Say it like if you have a little bit of peanut butter stuck on the
Is it
top,
like
on
lemon?
the top of your mouth.
Like a fancy way of saying lemon.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Yeah.
Le Mans.
No, that's how they say it.
Okay.
Yeah, we are saying it wrong, or you were
I don't
actually, because I said it right.
whatever. So the basically the CLK GTR is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So there's a lot of similarities between those two cars. Like it looks,
Yeah.
the doors, the front, the back. So I don't know if they're gonna promote it as maybe like the second gen of that or the rebirth of that. We're seeing a lot of rebirths as well. So
Both cars were designed to crush everyone's dreams. So every other car maker it's gonna decimate.
oh yeah,
It's gonna
No,
decimate.
that for sure.
It's gonna be insane. I mean, all you have to say is Formula One engine in a road car. Like,
Yeah.
if that doesn't say it all, I don't know what else does.
I think honestly, this is gonna be one of those cars you see on the street, and just man, woman, child, dog, cat, iguana, whatever preference, you're just gonna be filled with rage because he's doing something. That person's doing something.
I would be delighted if I ever saw one on the road, but chances are we will never see one on the road. It will be these things will sit in museums and warehouses. I think they only made 28? Is it 28 cars?
Let's not express how much we're gonna be heartbroken. Let's move on to the next topic. All right, I don't want to cry.
I can talk about the Project One.
I don't want to cry.
I can talk about that car.
Stop it. I don't want to cry.
Right. Next, speaking of crushing people's dreams,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys saw the Range Rover Sport SV was unveiled. There's a time trial track that it's not a track. It's a time trial that they do in China. It's a road called the Tiananmen something.
I'm sure you're wrong, but whatever.
Yeah. And basically, this SUV beat a time set previously, the record, by a Ferrari 458 Italia. Like, why does this keep happening to Ferrari? Why do you have to get beat by an SUV as well? Like, how? Like, by the way, guys, this is not a Ferrari bashing show. It just happens to be that in these last two episodes,
it's been
these
bad.
things have,
It's just we are just kind of relaying the news to you guys. We don't hate most manufacturers. I
actually love Ferrari. I'm just hoping that they watch this and they're like,
they get inspired.
We need to do something.
They get inspired.
These two Hispanic guys down in Miami are really getting annoying.
and we wanna find out whatever that yellow tea they keep talking about. It's really good. It's good stuff.
But yeah, this thing like beat the time. It's a massive truck. Well, I mean, you've seen the Range Rover Sport. This is for you guys that don't know. This is the SV is the sporty. I mean, it's a sport utility vehicle. It's already in the name, but it's a more sporty sport utility vehicle. Think of the marriage
of a cow, a mature cow, and like the speed of a cheetah or the legs of a cheetah.
That's pretty much what we're talking about here. And
it's impressive. It is impressive.
If you want to get to a theme park fast with your family, you get a Range Rover Sport SV. Yes. You'll be able to get there as fast as possible. So your trip from Miami to Orlando to Disney World will be cut in half.
Jesus.
But you'll have to make a few extra stops to fill up the tank. So exactly.
That's something that does not come with the actual truck. They don't throw in the free like 18-wheeler full of gas, the gas tanker chasing you, just so that way just fill up on the go. So you will have to set a budget.
Correct.
For a lot of gas.
A couple of specs on this monstrous beast is it's using a 567 horsepower supercharged V8 that launches that building from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, which is insane.
Here I was thinking you were going to say, like 1.8, 4-cylinder, supercharged. But of course, it's got to have the engine that powers most cruise liners on it, just to make it move.
Yeah, and it tops out at 174 miles an hour because
that's what you need.
Because what SUV
you need that
doesn't need to go 154?
Cadillac,
I think they all
get your shit together, all right?
Get that
Cow on wheels moving, all right?
Yeah, it's just so everyone knows how much it beat the Ferrari by 40 seconds. Which is in car terms is a fortnight.
Yeah, it's years.
So
it's
insane.
You can cross the finish line, get out, celebrate, have tea, beer, high five everyone, autographs.
I think so far we're probably in 40 seconds right now on the show. So
it's a long time. Definitely a long time.
Right now is when the Ferrari would have crossed the line. So
yes.
So yeah, that covers the Range Rover Sport SV. Looks wise, looks stunning. I think the Range Rover line right now is pretty.
I am a firm believer, and I love a car that looks a sleeper, if you will, if you're a gearhead. A sleeper, if you don't know, is a car that looks like your regular Civic you got at the dealer, but the gentleman or woman who owns it put in 10 grand under the hood, and it just moves from anything.
Yeah, I think as far as the luxury,
it's there. It's
SUV
there.
market, I think Range Rover's probably has some of the nicer trucks.
Yes,
looks wise,
definitely.
interiors Range Rover's Range Rover when it comes to interior, so that's second to none. But yeah, this one looks, obviously this is a lot sportier. It's got a lot more sporty accents, deleted chrome, a lot more black. The one shown in the press release is like a dark blue.
It's a little bit more aggressive.
It looks really nice.
Ferrari,
oh man, 40 seconds, that's horrible. They need to rerun that.
I still love you guys. I really, we do. We just have hope. Please do something. Yeah. If trucks are beating you,
That's bad. that's pretty bad.
No. Let me tell you something. That road, the time trial road, looks delicious.
It kind of looks like what's the one over in Italy? The Stelvio Pass. It looks a lot like that one actually.
All right.
So
moving it on,
we are
let's talk
Shelby GT500.
Yes.
Let's talk about the cars that typically run over people at car shows.
Okay.
This is the one that can actually run over more than one person because it has a lot more horsepower. So if you guys haven't seen, if you go online and you just type in Mustang runs into crowd, you will find at least, I don't know, 10, 20 videos.
For those of you who are lost right now, it's basically a compilation of videos of Mustangs leaving car meets and thinking that at that precise time to show off in front of everybody, it'd be nice to accelerate and burn some rubber, except they slide everywhere and usually into people, other cars, oncoming traffic, cops, a Lamborghini, a hot dog stand, a newsstand, anything really that's in the way. So that's what he means by that. So I don't think this is going to be the case.
No, I think it's going to be worse because it has more power. Most of those cars are running. Most of the Mustangs that had those had those incidents.
Yeah.
They actually were regular GTs usually. They weren't even
they weren't
Cobras.
one-offs.
They weren't GT500s.
I will say that there's always going to be a common problem with Ford, like the Mustang line at least, is you're always going to have a Mustang have, like I'm talking about the one-offs, the GT500s, the 350s and stuff like that. They're always going to have 700, 800, 900 horsepower. The problem is that you're going to be peeling out in at least 5 gears because they've never managed to perfect the rear gears and tough enough to catch traction on the tires. So yes, you have an unbelievable amount of horsepower coming out of a Mustang, but the problem is you're going to be in one place for several seconds because the tires won't be able to keep up with the demand of the actual engine.
No, I just think it's
nuts.
that is they're not worried about helping the car turn correctly. They just want it to go fast in a straight line.
No. I'm not talking about a circuit race with a Mustang. I'm talking about just trying to drag, whoever's next to you down the road, like light to light. You can't do it. It's too many gears that you're peeling out in because of the power. It's nuts.
Well, I mean,
I love it.
So this is obviously the more extreme version. It's a 700 horsepower Mustang. Like if really now I have to be not just concerned about BMW drivers who are usually driving crazy. I have to be worried about Mustangs who are just can just kill me at any moment in time.
So hopefully what I want to see is that in the future, because I love Mustangs, okay? That we love Mustangs actually. It's just rough patch. I get it, Ford. No big deal.
That was my first car. I mean, it was which you later inherited.
Yes, it was a great car. We both had incidents in it. I lost tires in it. I did mechanics. It was a nice car. It's nice. It feels nice.
A lot of things happened in that car, and not all were driving related. So let's just leave it at that.
Exactly.
So the back seat of it has a lot of room.
There's a lot of signatures.
There's a lot of room in that back seat when you actually move the front seats all the way forward and you fold them.
Attention, Mustang owners.
Yes.
If you're homeless or if you're trying to make the night special with your significant other,
push those seats all the way forward.
Don't be deterred by trying to do those kinds of things that teenagers do in the front seat. There's plenty of room in the back.
Correct.
It's very deceptive. This is something that should be, when they sell this car to kids,
should be on the brochure.
They should let them know, like the sales guy should be like, hey, if you fold these seats and move them all the way forward, that turns into a 2-bedroom condo back there.
I got this.
Are you working too hard, but don't have enough money to afford a
hotel? We've got you covered.
The Ford Mustang.
Efficiency on wheels.
So this is the GT500. Okay. It looks all we've seen is a picture of the front grille, which was the teaser that Ford sent out.
What they're trying to tell us is that it's gonna inhale a lot of air.
This is to show you that a whole body can fit in that grille when they run over the crowd.
So it's basically like the grille and then the lights.
I would say at least 2 car spotters can fit in there in that grill with their cameras actually.
Or a tortoise.
Yeah.
Like a full male tortoise.
Yeah.
Fit right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Let's move it on.
And yeah, specs real quick, 700 horsepower, you know, I mean, because everything now is like close to 1,000. I think 1,000 horsepower at some point is going to be normal. It's like, yeah,
we're in a numbers world.
1,000 horsepower. Like I remember when I had like a CTS Cadillac and it was like 300 horsepower and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's
slow
fast.
now.
Yeah, I know. It is slow now, but I mean, I guess it's all
Subjective.
All right. What else we
Moving
got?
right along. This topic.
Dude, don't you hate when you've bought a new car, right? And then everything's going well, and then maybe like a year after the ownership of your car, you get that nice little cut, tear away at the edges letter, and it's usually from your car manufacturer, and it states a recall of sorts, like your brakes or an airbag, or the headliner will probably detach if you go too fast, right?
Most are like, you know, they need to tighten a bolt. The battery might go dead.
Lug nuts. I've had lug nut one.
This
That's
is
fine.
the first for me.
Yeah.
Ford issued a recall on their Ford Fusions, which states, and I quote, "In affected vehicles, the steering wheel bolt may not maintain torque, allowing the bolt to loosen over time. And if not serviced, a steering wheel could potentially detach and lead to a loss of steering wheel control and increased risk of crash." You know, the funny part of that statement is that they had to let you know that when the steering wheel detaches, you may lose control. No shit. Way to go. Yeah.
I mean, that can happen.
Like, I mean, basically, every Ford Fusion that you see on the road is a potential unguided missile
that can like just destroy your life. So just to recap a little bit,
right? Mustangs don't go to any meets or even stare at one dead in the face, and now Fusions.
Yeah,
dude, I mean, there's a lot of Ford Fusions out there. This is a little bit alarming. I mean, this only
affects 2014 to 2018, but dude, they have to make like
100,000 Fusions a month. I have a personal question, and you might agree with
this. Is Ford manufacturing in North Korea for any reason?
I don't think anybody manufactures in North Korea. Secretly, maybe. Or they have
North Koreans.
I don't think. Yeah.
It's the only way I can justify this, that Fords are losing control.
No, but they like.
Yeah, but they want guided missiles. These are unguided, so they're not interested. They're taking what they can get at this point.
But this is like,
just saying.
Like, if you were to
imagine if you were to get this at your house, like you own a Ford Fusion, you're super excited about your
2018 Ford Fusion, and then you get a letter in the mail saying your steering wheel may detach at any time. You might want to
bring it in.
Yep, it's definitely not a brake pad or brake fluid or something. It's kind of really important.
That's insane.
What I will say is,
wait, sorry, it's not just Ford Fusions. It's also Lincoln MKZ. So all of those cars should have bumper stickers that say,
Get out of my way.
Caution, my steering wheel may detach.
Yeah.
At some point.
Honk at me and you'll die.
Yeah.
If I'm swerving, I'm not drunk. My steering wheel. That's a great
excuse. Yeah. So you officer. So you know I pulled you over? Listen, it's my steering wheel. It's not me. All right. I'm not drunk. My car is.
Yeah. That's insane.
It's definitely in. I'm not even gonna say top 5. It's probably the number one most hilarious and
particular and even unique recall in the car world.
It's gonna be hard to top this one, to be honest.
There was one I remember a while ago. I think it was.
Well, I think the one that's
most famous and hilarious was the
exploding tire one.
Yes, there was one I believe on the Bentley or something that the
lug nut itself would come off. Yeah, but I mean you got 5, so you're good.
It was like several of them. It wasn't just like one or two. Yeah, like your tire may fly off. So like, and I kind of want to own a Fusion to get that letter and just be like, they're so cordial
about this. Like it's no big deal. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, that's
definitely interesting. It's
that
hilarious,
one in the Michelin exploding tire and this one got to be the Michelin.
I mean, you're just driving along and boom. Like,
I'm telling you, it's just a surprise. It's just gonna give at any moment.
I wonder if you have time. Like it just
comes off and you're like, well, I live a good life.
We're going 90
no,
towards
I
the
mean,
wall.
you have some chances of survival. I mean, you know, it just depends on
where you're at. If you're taking a long right hander and it comes off, then
that's pretty much a wrap for you. But
So if you own a Ford Fusion and you have not got this news or the letter, I suggest you buy a Momo steering wheel right now.
I suggest you just. I mean, it sounds like a fun game to me. I would
let it ride. That way you don't have to, you know, worry about going to the dealer. Who wants to go to the dealer? Just have fun. It's exciting. It could
come off at any time. Like,
not a game I want to play, but
I'm in.
You're displaying
as
your
long
adventure
as long as I, you know,
as long as I wear my racing helmet, my Hans device at all times, and yeah,
be all right.
But you wouldn't mind that at all.
I wouldn't mind it.
No.
So moving right along,
Let's do this.
Our next segment is our head-to-head segment where we discuss cars of any era and why either of us thinks one is better than the other. On this particular segment, which I think is a pretty highly debated head-to-head, there's only been one true. I think there may maybe two car reviewers have actually gone over both cars at the same time. The Mercedes-Benz E63 S versus the 2018 BMW M5. Both very similarly spec'd. Horsepower almost identical.
Actually identical.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Mercedes has 603 horsepower, 627 foot-pounds of torque. The BMW has 600 horsepower, 553 foot-pounds of torque.
Right.
But there's a huge weight disparity. I want to say the Mercedes is like 200 pounds heavier, almost 230,
something like that. Yeah.
So
no.
that's the big differential.
No, I think it's like 60 pounds, maybe.
No, it's
for 255, and then for 4,300.
basically for the so it's not much.
Not much, but there's definitely a weight advantage, and that's particularly why the M5 seems to be slightly faster 0 to 60 and on the quarter mile.
I do want to say this, and we haven't talked about this on the show. We're seeing now, even with these two being kind of like a middle grade car, we are seeing the introduction of 9 gears.
8-gear transmission. All right, these are going to be the gearboxes of the future, apparently.
Well, that's happened because to make these cars any kind of efficient,
correct.
You have to have those. I mean, it's
not.
You don't have on a racetrack. You don't need 9 gears. But
efficiency wise, yeah, I get it.
So that's they had to do that.
It seems like they finally got the sound right on this one. I've heard a couple of clips. It sounds
actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The car looks good.
I just think, honestly, my true opinion on, and I think we're seeing the transition now with like the newer lines of the
BMW line.
That they're trying to get into that whole aggressiveness, because you look into any eyes of a Mercedes of any kind right now, and it's just
all the way down from the 300s to a 250. They have an
aggressive feel to it, and BMW's kind of never had that touch, and this included. But we're starting to see maybe a little bit of the change where they're going from the architect that owns one to, you know, the artist that might buy one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I like the E63 S. I think the styling on it is a lot nicer than the M5.
Right.
Granted, the M5
this looks a lot better than the base. You know, like
yeah, definitely.
What I think is very interesting is that BMW typically
leads the way technology-wise and with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
On this particular car, they've had to play catch-up with Mercedes.
Right.
For the first time ever, this M5 is all-wheel drive. Granted, you can switch off the two
front wheels and make it a rear-wheel drive car.
Right.
Same.
Mercedes, actually, that Mercedes was the first company to have that technology, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Where you could switch off the front wheel.
It turns into like a rear-wheel drive car,
Yeah,
which is a cool feature.
Right.
But obviously
to catch up with the Mercedes with the E63, they've had to go all-wheel drive.
Because obviously the 0 to 60 times and quarter mile times on the E63 from the last generation
were a lot faster because obviously cars cook a lot
better in the 0 to 60 and on a quarter mile when they have all-wheel drive.
Well,
And we go back into the efficiency factor as well, because two-wheel drive is much more efficient than
four-wheel drive when it comes to MPGs and whatnot. So that's also ahead to you if you want to turn it off.
Yeah, I don't know what the stats are on that.
I have no idea.
It has to be like a negligible amount of MPGs that you would get by switching that off. Because in fact, actually, by adding an all-wheel drive
system, you're making
the car heavier.
Right.
So I would say that a rear-wheel drive should be a little bit more efficient just based on weight.
I think personally,
I like the Mercedes more than the BMW. I do, but I am giving.
I had a feeling we were both gonna say Mercedes.
But I will say that they're trying to put up.
BMW is trying to put up more of a fight than they have in the past. No, and we're seeing
with these cars, you can kind of see it now. You start talking, M8 Grand Coupe and things like that. Like it's
nice. Like the Grand Coupe now that
Geneva also just looks more aggressive. It looks. I'm not saying you're gonna mistake it for a BMW. I mean for a Mercedes, but they're getting there. They're getting the hint. They're not. Yeah. They're not.
But those are all concept cars, so we never know if they're gonna make it or not, or what. I mean, they are gonna make the M8 for sure.
Yeah.
But we don't know if it's gonna look like that. But either way, this M5, so far it's beat the E63 S on
every review that I've seen when they put them together. So I mean,
would I get an M5 over an E63 S? No. I
think there's a lot more emotion with the E63.
Just that Mercedes V8 is just. I mean,
Mercedes.
They set the standard for how to make a turbocharged
V8 sound. It still somehow sounds like it gives you that grunt.
And you still get a little bit of turbo noise.
They managed, point blank, they managed to make the marriage of a luxury car with the kind of like smell or essence of a muscle car.
Well, I think it also has to do with the design of the engine. I'm
99% certain that the V8 from Mercedes actually has the turbos tucked in.
It's tucked
to the V of the engine, which is a completely different design
to make the harmony a little better.
It's to shorten the
distance from the engine.
Right. That's why you'll see that on the Mercedes you get peak
horsepower and peak torque at lower RPMs.
Which means obviously less lag,
right?
Which is the issues that turbo have. But
that particular design that they have is I want to say it's even patented
for them. The way they set that up, which is super interesting. They put the turbos
and
inside
the V of the engine, using that space to actually house the turbos.
Yeah, they're very efficient. They're very McLaren about it.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, they really just nailed it. It sounds.
You get into that car and you're not like, man, I wish it was naturally aspirated. It sounds that
good, and that engine obviously carries over through. It's the engine for any
with a 63 on it.
Yeah,
has that 4-liter V8.
Right.
So obviously there's different depending on the model. The tuning can be a little different. You can be a little bit less horsepower.
Yeah.
But for the most
part, that's the engine they use on all the 63s.
I think now would be a good time to get into our But Why segment. Because it is one that's been kind of holding me awake at night. I can't really sleep because I think about things like this.
Okay.
And ladies, to be completely honest, whenever you stare at your counterpart in bed, and you wonder sometimes what he could be thinking about. I'm thinking about car names. I'm thinking about cars. I'm thinking about tires.
Yep.
And not what you think we're thinking about.
That's a bit. I mean, most people who are talking to me, I'm usually an autopilot, and I'm just thinking about cars.
Yeah.
So that's typically how it goes.
What we got on the docket today?
Well, on the But Why segment, this is a segment where we discuss the crazy things happening in the car world, and we ask ourselves why. So today we'll be talking about crazy car names, and by crazy car names we mean car names like the Demon, the Hellcat, the Hennessy Exorcist,
the Mustang Super Snake,
the Ferrari 812 Superfast,
and we cannot forget the Renault Hitler that came out. Was that a car?
Was
No, I don't think so. No.
I think that got axed.
It did? Did it make the cut?
I think that there was issues that they didn't foresee when they got to the marketing stage of that car.
Got it.
For sure.
It. I mean, I got more. No?
These are the cars that make you ask yourself.
But why? Basically. So that's a good.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like what else is going to come out? Like I think these are crazy because it's like, where's it gonna be, like the Dodge Decapitator, or like, you know, like the Ford Slayer, like, you know, like, I mean, and then those are ones that are like, okay, this car sounds a little dangerous, like, do I really want to buy this? And then you have the ones that are like super obvious, like the Ferrari 812 super fast. Like, really?
Yeah, no.
Like, we didn't know that a Ferrari GT car with a 12-cylinder engine was super fast. Like, we weren't aware of that. Yeah. I think we may get an email from Ferrari.
Oh, dude.
I
think at some point we're just gonna have to, like, you're gonna wake up one day outside your house and see eggs on your car.
I think red eggs.
Red eggs, exactly. Or like spray paint.
Yeah.
Like Ferrari enthusiasts are just gonna start, you know, hating.
Those are the red eggs are the ones that where it's like it's a stillborn kind of. So there'll still be a little chicken in there.
You know what? I think it's very difficult for these car manufacturers to produce a car or kind of have something with massive like horsepower and aggressiveness, and then call it, you know, like the Dodge Darling.
Yeah,
you can't have something 800 horsepower with like drag tires already ready to go, and then be like, it's the Dodge Delightful.
I mean, just some of them have a reason as to why they use that name.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, these don't have a real backstory. I mean, some of them are older cars that Dodge made. Like, I want to say the Hellcat was an older Dodge, right?
I'm not sure. I think the tradition, or I guess the lineage that the Challenger has, just like they kept it just the Challenger and things like that. But
like,
this is just an addition of that car where they said it's going to be aggressive, it's going to be mean. We need a name for it.
Yeah, like the Lamborghini. I know Lamborghini names their cars. They're based off of famous bulls.
Correct.
So every car, it's not that they're making, like, sometimes they sound dumb, the names.
Yeah.
Like the Huracan, like it's a hurricane. Like,
yeah,
no,
but
that's the actual name of a famous bull in Italy. So
but
obviously their logo has the bull in it, so that makes sense.
Now that you're bringing that up, anything in Italian automatically sounds better than in English. So that's something you got to give to them, because if you said, you know, the Dodge Hurricane, you'd be like, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, like performante sounds better than performance.
Or decapotable.
Yeah,
see,
it does. Yeah.
I just said decapitated, and it sounded romantic.
Yeah,
it's just
that's like, you know, like coupe and coupe. Coupe sounds a lot better than coupe does.
And then you have companies like Hennessy who take a car that already exists and say, okay, well, if it's called, you know, the Camaro SS or a Hellcat, we're gonna call it the Exorcist, because that, you know, why not? Why not?
Yeah, we need. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I guess, yeah, you got like you got the Ghost, you got the Phantom. I mean, but those are actually like I'm okay with that name. These are like, this is dangerous. Like, I don't want to be in a car that's named the Exorcist.
Me personally, I'm waiting for Chevy to come out with the Camaro Sciatica. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be very comfortable.
The Sciatica edition?
It's going to be Sciatica. No, that's what it is.
That's the one where you stand up driving.
Pretty much.
Because you can't sit. Yeah.
No, it's a harness, kind of like a sex saddle.
Yeah.
But it hoists it to like, and you sit on it. So it's like you're sitting down, but it's just support for your back.
It looks like a Jeep with no chair.
Yes. That's what it is. You stand
up and drive.
In like a hunch.
Yeah, it's like you're on a, it's almost like you're on a boat.
It solves the sciatic problem, but then you have a neck and like, you know, like a hunchback problem, because you're like this with, you know, it solves an issue but then creates another one.
Yeah, and if you're in an accident, you're gonna have more problems than your sciatica.
Correct. So sciatic problem relief, but you might die.
No, you will die.
That's right.
Basically.
You will die. So I'm it's just funny when you see something like this. Obviously this is something that I believe sticks to very aggressive cars. You won't see a lot of the BMW and you know, like Mercedes.
No,
I think more serious companies ever do that. So.
Well, they stick to numbers, which I'm okay with. It's okay. I think it's okay to have a nickname for a car. Like for instance, the 911 GT2 is nicknamed the Widowmaker, but they didn't call it the 911 Widowmaker because that's not great.
Yeah, I think what these companies are trying to do is trying to kind of like maintain their American client base.
I mean, I get like from a marketing standpoint, it sounds like it gives it a lot of pizzazz, but I mean, I'm more into the numbers, and then it could have that nickname. That's cool.
Yeah,
but
you're never gonna have Luigi come out and be like, you'd never guess what I bought the other day. It's the Hennessy Exorcist. He says so fast. He said, I never buy a Ferrari again.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why they wouldn't.
So. Oh, come on, man. Now you keep digging.
He's like, I will not buy a Ferrari. I buy a Range Rover Sport SV. It's faster.
I can make a pizza delivery in half your time.
So, yeah, man, that pretty much covers that. Yeah, they got to do better. They got to do better with the names.
No, they're not. You know why? Because we're at some point we're just gonna get to 1,000 horsepower, and they just.
Oh no, we're almost there.
Dodge is gonna come out with the Dodge Death, which is just immediate from 0 to 60.
No,
0 to your grave.
No. Ford already has it's the Ford Fusion Death. It's called the Ford Fusion Death. Yeah, they have. That's already taken.
It's the Ford Fusion. It's nicknamed the Death because of the steering wheel.
Yeah, they can't take that. That's trademarked already, bro.
Guys, buy it. We're gonna try and put like a link below this or something, so like a Momo steering wheel with like your adapter for the Fusion, just to kind of help you guys out.
But seriously speaking, just to give a little bit of consumer advice, if you do own a Ford Fusion or a Lincoln, what was it? It was the Lincoln.
It was a Focus.
No, Lincoln. Yeah.
Oh, the Lincoln Ford MKZ.
Fusion,
the MKZ.
Lincoln MKZ, 2014 and 2018.
Yeah.
Please take your car to get serviced.
Yeah. Or what you can do is you take your Ford Fusion to a Mustang meet, and you be amongst the crowd.
Oof.
You would.
Wow.
It would be a demolition derby.
Wow.
That'd be the first.
Like, I'm down to watch as long as it's from like the second story of a building,
from a ladder on top of McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm in.
Or a helicopter.
If there is a Ford Fusion, and if any of you guys know about it, if there's a Ford Fusion car meet at anywhere around Miami or South Florida area, please let me know.
That's just you saying that makes it's just not going to happen. Like, it's just not.
Can you imagine?
It would be a parking lot full of geriatrics.
No, could you imagine just like the fear of knowing that this mass of Ford Fusion or Lincoln or Lincoln MKZs, all of them can lose their steering wheel at the same time. I mean, what are the chances of that happening?
But it'd be epic.
I think that would be probably the sole biggest collective of soccer moms.
Amazing.
And just,
and the cops won't be able to blame anybody.
That would
because it wouldn't. They blame Ford.
That would no. That would be the first car meet ever to not get raided by the cops, because as soon as they look down from a chopper,
Be like, it's just a bunch of epic. Looks like Ford is selling them Fusion.
Let's get out of here.
Nickname the Unguided Missile. So, all right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. That wraps it up. The show.
Today is March 18th, and you guys just shot the shift with us. For us, we're gonna try to do as much as you guys want. Correct. So also, if you guys have anything you guys
want us to cover, any topics
that you guys would like us to discuss, drop a comment below.
Obviously on the YouTube you'll be able to do that.
On the podcast, definitely give us a review. Let us know what you think.
Right.
And you can also hit us up on Instagram as well.
Instagram, yeah.
So that's that. And thank you guys.
We're also going to be putting in the link to our
secret little, what is this coffee again? The yellow coffee?
It's an espresso coffee.
Espresso,
yes. Beer capsule?
Yes. No. Can't do it? No. Lawson? No. What?
I don't. Bye.
Bye.
We gotta go. Bye.